A habit can feel small until you try to stop it. Checking your phone, eating late snacks, delaying exercise, or scrolling before sleep may look like simple choices. But a habit is not just a choice repeated often. It is a loop that the brain has learned to run with very little effort. Most habits have three parts: a cue, a routine, and a reward. The cue starts the behavior. The routine is the action. The reward is what the brain gets from it. If stress leads to snacking and snacking gives relief, the brain begins to remember that shortcut. Next time stress appears, the old path lights up again. Habits are hard to break because they save mental energy. The brain likes automatic routines. You do not want to relearn brushing your teeth every morning or driving the same route to work. Automation is useful. The problem begins when the automatic routine solves a short-term feeling while hurting long-term goals. The cue is often more important than people realize. Someone may think they crave sugar every night, but the real trigger might be sitting on the couch after dinner. Another person may think they lack discipline with social media, but the trigger is boredom during work breaks. Without finding the cue, the behavior looks random. Rewards keep the loop alive. A reward does not have to be healthy to be powerful. A cigarette may calm nerves for a few minutes. A shopping app may create excitement. A harsh reply may create a feeling of control. The reward teaches the brain, this worked enough to remember. That is why logic alone often fails. Stress makes habits stronger because the brain reaches for familiar relief. When people are tired, anxious, hungry, or overloaded, they have less energy for deliberate choices. The old routine becomes attractive because it is known. That is why many people can hold a new habit for a week and lose it during one difficult day. Environment matters too. A kitchen counter with snacks creates more decisions than a kitchen where snacks are hidden. A phone beside the bed creates a different night than a phone charging across the room. Willpower is easier when the environment is not constantly inviting the old routine. Breaking a habit is also hard because the brain expects the old reward. If someone stops checking messages every few minutes, the first feeling may not be peace. It may be restlessness. If someone stops late-night eating, the evening may feel empty. The missing reward creates discomfort before the new pattern has benefits. A common mistake is trying to remove the routine without replacing the reward. If stress snacking gives comfort, the person still needs another way to handle stress. A walk, tea, breathing, journaling, or calling a friend may not feel as strong at first, but it gives the brain an alternative path to practice. Another mistake is changing too much at once. Someone decides to wake early, quit sugar, exercise daily, meditate, and stop scrolling in the same week. Each change needs attention. When the brain gets overloaded, it returns to familiar routines. Small changes look less dramatic, but they survive better. Identity can either help or trap the habit. A person who says, "I am just lazy," may stop looking for the cue and reward. A person who says, "I am learning to become someone who starts earlier," creates room for practice. Identity is not magic, but it affects which behaviors feel possible. Tracking helps because habits often hide in automatic time. Write down when the behavior happens, what happened before it, and how you felt afterward. A pattern may appear quickly. Maybe the habit happens after conflict, after long meetings, during loneliness, or when a task feels unclear. Once the pattern is visible, change becomes more precise. The best replacement habits are easy to start. If the old habit takes 10 seconds and the new one takes 20 minutes, the old habit will usually win. Put walking shoes by the door. Keep water on the desk. Remove one app shortcut. Make the desired action closer and the old action slightly harder. Rewards should not be ignored. After doing the new routine, the brain needs some signal that it mattered. This can be a check mark, a short break, a favorite song, or the relief of seeing progress. The reward does not have to be huge. It has to arrive close enough for the brain to connect it with the behavior. Slips do not erase progress. A person who misses one workout has not lost the habit. The danger is the second decision, turning one miss into a full return to the old pattern. The useful question is simple. What cue got me, and how do I prepare for that cue next time? Some habits are tied to deeper emotional needs. Overspending may be about feeling important. Overworking may be about avoiding uncertainty at home. Constant checking may be about fear of missing out. If the habit carries emotional weight, the replacement needs to address the feeling, not just the visible action. Habits change through repetition, but also through design. You change the cue, make the old routine less convenient, give the brain a new reward, and forgive small mistakes quickly. The process is not about becoming a different person overnight. It is about making the next repetition easier to choose. A habit is hard to break because it once worked for something. It may have offered comfort, speed, escape, control, or pleasure. Respecting that does not mean keeping it. It means replacing the job it was doing. When the new routine meets the same need in a better way, the old loop finally begins to loosen. Cravings often arrive like commands, but they usually rise and fall like waves. A person who can wait 10 minutes may discover that the urge changes shape. The goal is not to fight the craving with anger. The goal is to create enough space for choice to return. Habit change improves when the new behavior is attached to an existing routine. After brushing teeth, prepare workout clothes. After making coffee, review the day's first task. After dinner, take a short walk. The old routine becomes a hook that helps the new routine start without negotiation. People also underestimate friction. If the old habit is easy and the new habit is hidden, the old habit wins. Keep fruit visible and snacks inconvenient. Put the book on the pillow and the phone outside the bedroom. Good design makes the better action less dramatic to choose. Social surroundings can support or weaken the change. A person trying to drink less may struggle if every meeting happens at a bar. Someone trying to study may struggle around friends who interrupt constantly. Habits live inside environments, schedules, and relationships, not only inside willpower. Progress is easier to maintain when the habit is measured honestly. A calendar streak, a spending log, or a sleep tracker can show whether the new routine is real. But tracking should guide behavior, not become another source of shame. The data is a mirror, not a judge. Breaking a habit is really learning a new response to an old cue. The cue may still appear, and the old urge may still speak. The difference is that the person has practiced another path often enough that it no longer feels impossible.